YouTube. Good morning, YouTube. I'm on the coast of Peru. I don't know how far I am down. Heading down to Lima anyway. And this is the camp spot for the next. Well, I stayed here last night. I'm going to stay here tonight. Just why not? I've got no time limits, and it's a nice spot. It's a bit windy. But at night it dies down. But look at this. There's a main road up there. It's quite a way off. Sometimes you can hear a bit of trucks, but yeah. So it's in the middle of a desert, and I'm gonna have a walk up here and see what's over the top. So, let's go. So, that's the Land Rover. And this is pretty cool. That cracking. Well, it's not human. It's a bird, I think. More bones there. What else? It's like a graveyard for animals up here. Mind you, I stayed in a few places and there's been lots of carcasses of things scattered about. So this is the oldest site in South America, or the oldest ancient site in South America, and it is huge, and the corrugations are terrible. Well, good morning. This is the place that I'm at today, and apparently it is the oldest city in South America, so let's go and have a look. But apparently we're not allowed just to go in and walk around. According to the sign it was pointing me to, we have to go in a group. So it's a group of us got to go together. It's like a guided jobby, but yeah, it's just a pain. But there you go. We're not allowed to fly drones, so I might come back when it's shut and fly a drone over. I'll see. So it's just give a bit of a speed lump, but I understand part of it. But there you go. So this is the site. As you can see, there's bits. Caral, 30 years. So there's bits of it all over. In the moment, you know, like pyramids. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know how far we can get in. This lady here speaks English, so she's doing a bit of translation for me. Basically, it was the capital, and how the bigger, the people with money stayed at the top, and the people without money stayed at the bottom. But the thing is, they are still excavating it now, so which is pretty cool. So they're still finding a lot of things now, different buildings, so which is pretty cool. Some of it is in English.
Las ofrendas que se habían quemado serían los productos de la agricultura. Entre ellos tenemos zapallo, maíz, ají, camote, papa, payar, frijoles. Frutos se han encontrado pacay.
So much part of it was like grains, potatoes, fruit. So I don't know if that was a bit of a store. That doesn't look like a store.
Ya que las arcillas se han encontrado en color amarillo, en el rostro y también en el ojo. O sea, es la misma tierra. Exacto, la misma pigmentación que estaría realizando al moler, ¿no? Con el agua ya estarían tiñendo los colores para los objetivos. O como también en el algodón se han encontrado.
Say they're still excavating it. I just wonder how much is buried still, because the sand moves so pretty quick, because it's quite windy, so the sand will soon bury things. So I suppose that's what they're excavating, and this is a huge excavation. Indiana Jones type excavation on their program. Pretty cool.
Esta parte de la construcción. Nos podemos dar cuenta que estas plataformas, ya que es una plataforma rectangular, las podemos observar que está totalmente incompleta, o sea, está rota. El inicio.
Well, they were just saying that this section here was actually connected to that, but because of all the rains and the wipeouts and the storms that they had over the centuries, it's broken in the middle.
Tenemos entonces una
So this section here, the nice lady was saying that these are places where people come to see the boss men, and they brought offerings. So all the offerings was brought and left up here, and if they left offerings, you know, they could come up to see the boss men. So all the offerings was taken over to right over there, and then there was all burnt. Well, some of them was burnt, you know, like food, fruit, whatever. It was burnt for offerings to the gods. Really cool. So the temple of the amphitheatre, and that's what it looks like. There, look. And we that just off to the right there. So this is here. Cool. So the temple of the amphitheatre. That's so good with drone. So we're just saying then that all this site, they found one body on this site, and that's in a pyramid over there that we're going to shortly. That is the only body that they found on this huge site, which is very rare. Really, very rare. So we've no idea where they are, whether they are up in the hills, which is a possibility, but generally they usually keep their loved ones close. So it's just kind of, what's going on? Where are the bodies? Unless they've just not found them yet, but normally I've seen places where they've actually, the tombs are under the floors, so they embalm them or to do whatever, wrap them up, and then they stick them under the floors of the house. So they're still living with their relatives, they're just dead and underneath the floor, and they walk all over them all day. So it seems a bit odd, but that seems to be the thing. So very interesting. Thanks again to that lady. I'll have to get your name before I go. So she comes and tells me, which is good, so I can actually say a bit during the this bit. Otherwise it's just me pointing a camera at a lot of stones and a few signs and somebody babbling Spanish in the background. So over the thousands of years, surprised that there's anything left, to be fair, but over the thousands of years the weather has destroyed a lot of it quite badly, or buried it. Which is the thing.
Con las construcciones de estos edificios, o también conocidos como las viviendas, se realizó el descarte, pues, ¿no?, de que las personas estén utilizando los espacios de las pirámides para vivir juntos.
Just reading, they've got underfloor heating, ventilation.
Ahora, ellos, pues, las cenizas, ¿no?, con los productos quemados, ellos ustedes lo consideraban las basuras.
I think that's this bit's about. So this is a residential property, quite big, but this is the only pyramid that's built like this, but the other ones are more flat topped because they're more for ceremonial, But this here, the hole in the side, there's one in each side, and the fire in the middle, so that when the wind comes, it keeps the fire going basically. So, which is pretty cool. But all these big rocks here are all the big keyway stones for building the walls. But yeah, it's pretty well not pyramid, this is the more pyramid type building that's here. The other one looks like it, but yeah, as people know, it's a pyramid really. Oh Jesus, look at that, I didn't see that one. Must be hiding. That's pretty cool. Yeah, ceremonial, that's it. And offerings, and then killing a few things as well.
Tal vez el presidente, en un cambio de presidente, ya tenga alguna otra remodelación, probablemente ya pues antiguamente estaría si desean tomar
pyramids, how they built one, then they would fill it in, and then with time they would do it again.
Yeah.
And fill it in and make it bigger and bigger and bigger.
So the inner structures were holding the outer structures up.
Correct,
Yeah.
the inner. And everything that would sacrifice, they would use it, they recycle everything. They would use it to put in where they had holes.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
They
the
would
best
just
way.
reuse
Use
it
everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's the best way, thank
Yeah.
you. So this is a prime example. So they build a wall and then they fill that bit there in. If you can see, so they'll fill that in, level it off, and then they can build a wall on top of that, and then top of that, and then top of that, and then go in and go in and in like this. So it extends the pyramid over time, and then they can build another wall there, and then another layer, and then another layer, so on and so forth. Pretty cool. I'm not sure. When I was in Mexico and Guatemala and seen some of the pyramids there, and I was saying then about they've extended it. So whether some of them are actually built the same way, that's at all possible that they did the same thing to extend them. Or that's just centuries later and they extend them up that way, so that's a non-possibility as well. Pretty cool.
vértebras de ballena. Las vértebras de ballena ya serían trabajadas y los estarían utilizando como asiento, como banca.
So they put roofs up to stop any more damage.
Ubicadas en las partes más altas de las pirámides. Como otros hallazgos tenemos apreciar que tiene 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hasta 6. Que si esta hubiera estado completa con la construcción
You can see how they've extended that.
ancha y mucho más todo lo que observamos solamente es la
So some of the things that I've been getting is this was actually all underground. What he was saying is this was a mountain, and all this was buried inside. Well, it was inside the mountain years ago. But what I can work out, obviously my rudimental Spanish, that I'm guessing it was a mountain of sand. So I think it was probably buried by sand, and then obviously some point or other it's been that's interesting. I think some point or other some of the sand had been washed away, and then revealed part of the tops of some of these pyramids or some of the buildings, and then they started excavating, and this is what it's ended up like now. Because as you see right behind me, there is a big pile of sand. So whether that's been moved because of that, I don't know, but that's kind of something like, but yeah, you see there seems to be bits here, but I want to go and see what this bit is here. That's why I just sooner wander around myself, but I need a wee quite badly now. But I do like the way that they've got a picture from a drone above of what it is now, and an artist's impression of what it was then, which is pretty cool. Actually pretty cool indeed. But it's one of them places that yeah, metal detector, maybe less metal here because it's so old. I still think that'd be interesting. So I don't know why these bits are here, whether it's maybe a bit of a windbreak, using the pebbles for a bit of a windbreak. But this place is massive, really is massive. It's a real shame that we can't go on and have a really good look round, because that would be cool. That definitely would be cool. But the sacrificials that they had, if they were building an extension, you know, to make it bigger, basically just threw all the bones and all that bit in there so to fill it up. Why not? This is an old bit.
Ahora, tiene pues también dos monolitos al ingreso, dos monolitos hacia la salida. Que los monolitos estarían representando lo que sería la dualidad. Las manos cortados, también los dedos de los pies cortados. Presentan golpes en la cabeza y tienen la columna desgastada. Ahora, según las investigaciones que se han realizado,
You can see some of the repair work there, look.
de la pirámide que son encontrados dentro de la construcción. Ahora, tendría las columnas de
I don't know how deep that is though. So I've just found out that well, this is the best view. German couples just, this is the best view here. But apparently the only body that they found was in here. Now the thing that it was in a fetal position. It had no toes. His toes had been cut off. His fingers had been cut off, and now they wrap him up. They wrap him up like they do in a couple of videos before that you see there. So they wrapped him up. They did find out when they looked at the skeleton that his back was knackered, so he was a worker. So obviously he was a thief, and the only body that they found is him. So he's been made an example of as dump thief, basically. So he wasn't, because he was how he was, he wasn't allowed to go where all the rest of the bodies are. So he wasn't good enough for that. So that's pretty interesting. So you find the information out. And that's what it looks like from the air. Pretty cool. The shark's teeth. Definitely. it's showing about the heating. But lady found out that I was right, that when they were saying about mountains and all these were like little mountains, and because it had all been buried in sand. That one's still under excavation now, as you can see the sand. So it's they're still all digging that up now. And that's what it looks like from the air. Pretty cool. The shark's teeth. Definitely. It's showing about the heating. But lady found out that I was right, that when they were saying about mountains and all these were like little mountains, and because it had all been buried in sand. That one's still under excavation now, as you can see the sand. So it's they're still all digging that up now. So that's kind of so that was kind of right. It was actually just buried in sand, which is pretty cool. And I might pick one of these rocks up from hang on. Yeah. From the oldest site in South America to no idea. I actually fancy putting that in Uluru in Central Australia. I think that's where that rock's going to go, because I think that's cool. Yeah. Right, so let's catch up because I'm behind you. Not that I can understand what you're saying anyway, but
tiene un color amarillo, ¿no?
So you can see how they've tied all the rocks together with rope or netting. Use it as a bit of a foundation. So I'm presuming this is a home. It does make you think how much more is buried. They've uncovered this bit here, and then this whole site. Yeah, it really does make you think how much more is buried. Even where I stopped last night, you never know. Yeah, so all the dwellings there, and you've got to be, the place has got to be full of dwellings all over the place. It's got to be more. Got to be. But you can just see how they've got to excavate in that, look. But that's where, when you get with the drone and then you look up from a drone and you're looking down, you actually see the marks in the ground that you can't see from from this height. You can't see, but for when you get higher up you can see them, and that gives you where to dig. So that's pretty cool. So that's it for here. So a lot of it we can't go around. I just wandered around there for hours and hours and hours, but we couldn't get onto the pyramids or anything like that. It's a bit of a shame. And then some of them we couldn't actually get very close to, and some of them we just walked right past them. So that's a bit of a bummer, but yeah, it's been interesting. And yeah, it's been pretty interesting. Well, good morning YouTube. I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I've gone up a canyon. Just where I was the other night was just over that hill. But I thought I'd go a bit of exploring. So I went to the oldest town in South America, and I've come up this canyon here. And I thought, yeah, steady away. It's I'm gonna have a bit of a walk up there and just see what's up there. Yeah, it's not too bad a spot for the night, really. If I had milk, I'd probably stay another night. But yeah, I'm just going for a bit of a wander, just seeing what's about. But yeah, this looks like it's over the year, obviously it's washed out, but over the years just makes you think. A few birds, you can see all the rains come wash down here. That's pretty cool. I'll just quickly show you around. So and a bit of a desert. Jumps onto for the desert. So well, they are my tyre tracks, or some of them are my tyre tracks. And there was always tyre tracks going up there anyway. So yeah, pretty cool. And I'll just call it this bit of a canyon. And obviously stop there and just walked up that bit. It's that hard life in itself, granted. It's so hard life, especially now it's warm. My bald patch is getting sunburnt again. But yeah, mate, let's move, make a move. Don't be a lazy git and make a move. See you in a bit.